Jon Moxley is headed to New Japan Pro Wrestling. The wrestling world has taken over social media. They want to know if this is the start between a working relationship between AEW and New Japan. So in today's video, we're going to talk about it.
You have arrived at your destination.
Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Tony, and you guys can follow me on Twitter at DPW Tony. And what a wonderful week for pro wrestling. Lots of things have been going down. A lot of people have been talking about AEW. AEW is starting to finally get some respect around here. And that's mainly due to the part of the fact that their first ever pay-per-view was highly successful. Now, the reason why it's successful is because AEW is bringing something different. And in the world of pro wrestling, it is absolutely needed. Regardless if you live in North America, regardless if you live internationally, people want to see options, and AEW is providing an alternative. So now, of course, people want to know what is really going on here, because Jon Moxley left WWE. He was Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose became Jon Moxley, only for Jon Moxley to not only go to AEW, but now New Japan. Now, Moxley has been doing a really good job of creating viral videos. I'm sure he's not the guy behind all the editing, but the idea here is very simple. Use his platform and use it very little, and only use it to make big announcements. And that's exactly what Ambrose, aka Moxley, has been doing. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time to get that, back in our mindsets. He's no longer Dean Ambrose. He is Jon Moxley. And he made a huge statement at AEW's Double or Nothing. But now he has the opportunity to make a huge statement at New Japan. And now people are curious what's really going on here. So I'm going to divulge into all this information. But first, I want you guys to know we are doing a giveaway, but it's going to be a fun giveaway. We're doing this till the end of June. Every single month, I'm going to give away DPW crates, which is essentially a mystery box for people who follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter. People that are giving back to the channel. Basically, we've created a crate. It's a mystery box filled with tons of different wrestling stuff. Who knows what you might find? You might find t-shirts, you might find replica belts, you might find a whole bunch of stuff, figures, it doesn't matter. We're giving it away to lucky subscribers. All you gotta do is really just click the link in the description. It's very simple. It's nothing too competitive. We're gonna do this every month, and let me know what you guys think. We got some cool prizes happening for the very first month, thanks to some awesome sponsors. So, with that being said, guys, DPW crate, check out the link in the description to learn more about that. But let's just jump right back into the Moxley situation. Moxley makes this video go viral, and it turns out he has escaped prison. That was video number 1. It turns out that prison was WWE. He walks into AEW and delivers a wonderful segment for the show. 24 hours later, he goes on Twitter, posts a video, time's up. Time's up. This was what New Japan had been preaching about for weeks. They have been teasing the idea of a new star coming to their show. People did not think it was possible because of the UK references made in the video. I understood where people were coming from. Honestly, it never crossed my mind that Moxley would even show up to New Japan, because originally what we reported on the channel was Moxley was going exclusively to AEW. And now Tony Khan has kind of made it very clear on the expectations and everything that's going on here. So Tony Khan, during the post-media AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view show, he talked to the media and said, listen, Moxley is here full-time. He's here on a multi-year deal, and he will be full-time starting this upcoming TV series. So when they go on TV, on TNT, Moxley will be there exclusively full-time. But in the meantime, he will be able to do international bookings. So Moxley will not be able to compete in the United States. He won't be able to compete for anywhere that's local, but he will have the ability to do international. And of course, 24 hours after this, media consumption is all done. As soon as everybody started consuming all this stuff, people didn't know how to digest it. And the reason why they weren't able to digest it was because AEW's Jon Moxley announced he's going to New Japan. Now, me personally, I do think a working relationship between both companies is beneficial. Honestly, in the world of pro wrestling, different is needed. We know that ROH and New Japan kind of had a weird back and forth. It was a very weird situation with their working relationship, obviously, at the Supercard event. But that's why this is so important that AEW secures the deal. One, AEW has a talented roster that won't be seen anywhere else. They're going to be exclusive to their show. So this roster is going to carry a lot of name, brand, and a lot of value as they're being built up on AEW's platform, which if you're Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to want some of this talent to come and give, a fresh vibe to their show. And if you're New Japan, you want to take advantage of the hottest thing happening in pro wrestling in North America. And to be fair, with WWE's product kind of suffering lately, it actually makes a lot of sense for New Japan to really want to work with AEW. They have guys like Okada, Tanahashi. I mean, these are names that people want to see in America, but the problem is there's really not a big platform for them. Because WWE isn't that platform that's working with New Japan, AEW, as you guys can tell, has a very big, attractive following right out the gate. So if you're New Japan, you're going to want to take advantage of that and ship out some of your guys there to go to AEW. And me personally, if I am AEW, I want to focus on my talent and building my talent up, but I do want to take a little bit of what New Japan has to offer and make it a beneficial working relationship. Now, whether this working relationship ever begins to begin with, it's only time will tell. But this is a working deal that needs to happen. New Japan can greatly benefit, AEW can greatly benefit, and what it really comes down to is pro wrestling having collaboration. We talk a lot about competition, we talk a lot about this, and I get it, everybody's competing, everybody wants to be the best, but if you put your two best resources together, you have a successful show. And, ROH, honestly, I know a lot of people love ROH, it's just not for me. It's not for me. I didn't like how they did everything with New Japan at the G1 Supercard at MSG. I was not a fan of that show. I thought there was a lot wrong with it. That's just me personally. I don't hate ROH. It's just not for me. But I like the idea of AEW working with New Japan because it does have a very special feel. The sports, the analytics, the statistics that really make wins and losses matter. These are things that go really aligned with New Japan and their prestigious titles. I mean, imagine one day that we get Okada versus Moxley for the Unified Championship. Okay, that's a fantasy booking. That's never going to happen. That doesn't happen in pro wrestling where you're working with two companies. That just doesn't happen for a title unification, right? That's just fantasy booking. But imagine that. People would be going crazy. It would be the hottest thing in pro wrestling. My point is, there's so much that could be done with this working deal that if you're WWE, you would be scared. You wouldn't know how to handle it. Moxley barely uses Twitter and Instagram and social media, but for some reason he is making some very big waves. He's very quiet, and now he's making waves that are so big that people want to ride them, but they don't know how because there's literally so much going on, and that's why he is using social media to the very T. I mean, he's doing it very well, and that's why AEW is going to succeed with Moxley there. Now, obviously, Moxley going to New Japan really has an opportunity to be bigger than anything he's ever done with WWE. And that's simply because there's just more resources, more people on the other side who can now provide for him. It's not just like it's the Shield versus the Wyatts. I mean, this is Moxley who's going to go head-to-head with some of the best wrestlers in pro wrestling. He's not dealing with superstars. He's dealing with pro wrestlers. That's exactly the element he should be on. I think it's going to be very, very cool stuff. Now, with all of that being said, with us talking about New Japan, with us talking about AEW, I want to know what you guys personally think. I want to know where you guys see this working deal going. If it does happen, do you guys even want it to happen? Like, is this something that people just don't care about anymore? Because we've been so used to the idea that everybody has to be number one. I mean, honestly, New Japan is obviously the biggest promotion internationally. Now AEW is arguably number 2 in the United States, and the attention they've been given, the amount of hype they've received, it's almost on WWE level. It's not there yet. It might not be there ever, but it's getting close and close and close, and it's all after one show. So if you put the two together, it's beneficial for everybody. Maybe that's exactly what helps AEW. Only time will tell. Tony Khan hasn't spoken out about this specifically, but Moxley is headed to New Japan. We hope to hear more about working relationships, but who really knows? Who really knows? It's going to be a very exciting time. Guys, my name is Tony from Destination Pro Wrestling here on YouTube. We got some major announcements coming to the channel, coming to the website. A lot of big things happening, guys, so stay tuned. Don't miss out. And of course, I'll see you guys next time in the next video.
At your destination.